Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Trillium Tarot. This is Stephanie, as always, and I really appreciate you taking the time to check out this walkthrough of this deck. Before I dive into the deck, please do give the video a thumbs up because it really does help the channel. I greatly appreciate that. This is a deck that I recently received from my favorite Ukrainian seller, Divani Shop. I'm going to share the Etsy shop name on the banner there. So if you are looking for unique decks that we don't usually see here in the States, please do check her out. Uliana is a joy to work with, very communicative. It does take time for the decks to get to us here in the US. I mean, they are in the middle of a war, so make sure that you're patient with shipping. But working with her is really a joy. For this video, I am going to flip through something called the Children Tarot, or the Tarot of the Children, depending on how you translate it. And it's a really interesting deck because it is drawings from children as far as what the cards mean to them. And you can see, at the top of the card that the Magician, there is the title of the card in different languages. But I really like the imagery in these cards. If you think back to when you were a kid, you had a lot more imagination. Even now, I'm searching for the words to describe what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to communicate. I think these young artists did a great job. If you look at the Justice card, by the way, the 8 and the 11 are switched in this deck as usual. The Justice card has the Sword of Truth and the scales. So I think they did a great job. But when you're a kid, you look at things from a completely different perspective. I know that I look back to some things that I believed or the way I looked at the world when I was younger. And as you get older, I think sometimes the world beats that out of you. So it's kind of refreshing to go back and look at things the way a child does. I think it also, it almost flips a switch in your brain to give you permission to go on those flights of intuition, where your brain doesn't follow the rules of logic, where you can make the connection. It just kind of opens a door more for that kind of insight. So I am going a little bit slower through these cards because I want the camera and the lighting to catch up. I can move through the minor arcana more quickly because they are primarily pips. There is a small illustration on each card, and they are so small that the camera is having a hard time picking them up. But I'll go ahead and I'll get to the court cards. Here is the Page of Swords. In this deck, it's called the Knave, followed by the Knight on the hobby horse there. That's too cute. Queen and King. So now I'll quickly flip through the wands. As I said, primarily pips. Oh, I like the Ten of Wands. It's full of kitty cats. Here we have the Page of Wands, followed by the Knight, the Queen, and finally the King. So we have 2 more suits to go through. I'll start with the Suit of Cups. And again, I'll just kind of fly on through. Listen to a little bit of piano music as background. By the way, I deliberately used classical piano music so I can avoid copyright issues. Here we have the Page of Cups, followed by the Knight, the Queen, and finally the King. I do listen to music other than classical, but I decided that I would just play it safe for when I'm running the videos and do something that is timeless, shall we say. Last 4 cards here are these court cards. The Page, the Knight, the Queen, and finally the King. So that was a really fast flip through. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. As a reminder, please give the video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave comments or even just an emoji in the comments below the video because that interaction really does help the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to the next video.